Hey, everybody. So it's time to do lesson two of writing a conclusion. Now, last week we learned the structure of a conclusion, how your conclusion should be laid out. Now, this week we're going to spend some time um, adding to that. We're going to strengthen those. We're going to be thinking about thoughts, adding thoughts and feeling to our conclusion. Strengthening conclusions or the endings. We are going to work on one way to improve the conclusion or ending of a piece of your writing. Strengthening conclusions and endings. When working on conclusions, we want to provide a concluding statement or section. We want we want the reader to understand that okay, essay's over, it's time to move on, right? And we want to leave the reader feeling satisfied. If you leave the reader with questions or unsure of what they just read, all the work that you put into the rest of the essay is worthless. So you need to make sure that you leave the reader feeling satisfied. So to improve a conclusion or ending, we want to use effective techniques and descriptive details. All right, so how are we going to do this? One way to improve the conclusion or ending is by revealing a thought or a feeling. How did you feel? How does the information in this text make you feel? To show you what I mean, we are going to read an opinion essay together. We have an opinion essay. We're going to look at it together. Now, there is a copy of this that will be posted in Google Classroom, so you don't have to have it right there in front of you, or this copy right there in front of you. You can open up the copy in Google Classroom. All right. All right. So notice as we read through it, notice the details about the overall topic in order to write an ending that reveals a thought and feeling related to it. All right. So we're going to be focusing on details about the topic, and then that will allow us to write a better thought or feeling as we read through it. All right. Uniforms don't solve the problem. This is a subject that we are very familiar with here at Stevenson. Um, Now, you can tell right away by the title that the author feels a certain way about uniforms, and hopefully, you can understand that it seems as though the author of this essay does not approve of the wear of uniforms or doesn't think that the wear of uniforms will solve anything. Some schools require students to wear uniforms. Many parents and teachers love this idea. A lot of kids hate this idea. I'm one of those kids. In my opinion, schools should not require students to wear uniforms. Now, if you read through that introduction, you notice that it's structured the way that we've been taught to write our introductions. It's got that opening statement, it's got two different opinions, and then it's got the author's opinion stated in there. So you'll notice the structure of that introduction. Some parents and teachers think that letting kids wear what they want can cause problems. They say kids are distracted by the clothes some students wear. This means they are not paying attention in class. I disagree with these adult beliefs. Most kids I know don't even notice what others are wearing. They care more about getting together after school to play sports or to do activities. They pay attention in class when the teacher makes what they are learning interesting and fun. So, details that are in here that this author is trying to get you to believe that most kids, they don't even really, there's other things that they care about more than what the kids are wearing. They care about after school activities, sports, getting together, and they care more about what the teacher has to say rather than what their friends are wearing. I also think that making kids wear uniforms takes away from their individuality. Kids have a right to be themselves. That is impossible to do when everyone looks the same. Imagine if everyone in the world had to wear the same thing every day, no matter where they lived. That would make the world a very boring place. Now, in this paragraph, okay, the author is trying to get you to think or believe that wearing a school uniform takes away their individuality. It makes them conform to a certain set of rules, and they can't be themselves. They can't express themselves through their what they're wearing. All right. For these reasons and more, I don't think that kids should be required to wear uniforms to school. It would make more sense to have a dress code everyone has to follow. This way, kids can be themselves and wear whatever they want to school so long as it fits in the code rules. All right, so um, this is the conclusion that the author wrote. Um, it's kind of a summary of what he wrote for these reasons and more. So he's saying these reasons, these two reasons that I've provided you, I don't think that kids should be required to wear uniforms. He's restating his opinion, his or her opinion. It would make more sense to have a dress code. So he's giving an alternate solution. This way, kids can be themselves and wear whatever they want to school as long as it fits in dress code. So he's also expressing one of his key ideas it would help with kids being individuals. All right. All right, so that was the essay. Now, again, there's a copy of it in Google Classroom, so you don't have to worry about memorizing that or whatever. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what I noticed about the overall topic of the essay. The writer believes students should choose what they want to wear. That was obvious. All right. The writer thinks that so long as students follow a school dress code, they should not be required to wear a uniform. So have a dress code. The writer believes it is sad to think about a world where everyone dresses alike. All right, so our job is going to be to revise the conclusion that the author um, has used, okay? And we're going to do that using a thought and a feeling. For these reasons and more, I do not think students should be required to wear uniforms to school. Students need to be themselves and be allowed to wear whatever they want to school so long as it fits in the school rules, in the code rules. Anything else makes me too sad to think about it. So you notice that the author is using the feeling of sad to increase into to hit home on his point. I have to wonder what the world would be like if everyone dressed alike each and every day. So he's also adding a thought. I wonder what this would lead to. What would it make? What type of world would it be if everyone had to dress the same? All right. So he's using emotion. He or she is using emotion, and they're using a thought to enhance their conclusion. Did you notice how I added a thought? I have to wonder, what the world would be like if everyone dressed alike each and every day. Did you notice how the feeling was added? Students need to be themselves and be allowed to wear whatever they want to school so long as it fits the code rules. Anyone, anything else is sad to think about. Okay? So, what are you going to do? You are going to do what we just did, okay? So, you're going to, open. It's not in your notebook. There is a page in your Google Classroom that you're going to use. It's already set up for you. It's got the old conclusion at the top, so you can look at it. And you're going to rewrite the conclusion or ending for the same. Um, same piece of writing. Okay, so you're going to use the same text. You're going to just look at the conclusion that the author has included, but you're going to rewrite it. And you're going to try to use a different thought and feeling that also relates to the overall topic of the writing. Now remember, important thing is you may feel differently about wearing uniforms. You may think uniforms are the best thing in the world. But this essay was written as being against uniforms. So your conclusion must reflect that. Your conclusion must be written against uniforms. Don't try to rewrite the conclusion to make it a pro uniform essay. Okay, it is not a pro uniform essay. It's anti uniform essay. So make sure that your conclusion matches that. Very, very important. I know some of you feel strongly that you think uniforms are the best thing, but that's not what the author wrote. Okay, remember that. All right, so go ahead and you can open Google Classroom. There is two attachments. One is the text, the complete text that I read to you in this video, and the second thing is a organizer. It's got a copy of um, the old conclusion there, so you can kind of glance at it, see how the author did it, and then it's got step-by-step instructions on how to do it, much like what we did last week. All right, good luck.